Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up, execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Sneering this shit through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Hey everybody, I am Universe Badger. This is
Moon Tortoise.
Then we have SGF Graham.
Yeah, what's up?
Then we have Kendo.
Hi there.
And then we have Jewsby.
Peace and love, family. How's everybody doing?
Welcome.
All is truly, truly well. So, for those that don't know, them are two of the three people that did the intro song. SGF Graham and Jewsby. We're only missing Jabril, but that is our team that did the song. So for those that needed to know, you know now. So tonight's subject is going to be... Oh, go ahead. I apologize.
I was going to say, fun fact, that's the one song in my life just about that I actually said, screw that. I quit trying to mess with it. It's a very intricate and amazing piece of music. I love it.
It is.
Sitting on the sidelines.
And if you go on our website, you can download it. Just letting you know. So that's one of the perks about joining the website. So tonight's show is about if your mind was a home, would you live there? And I'm gonna let Jewsby take over, and then he can ask people what they think or whatever.
All right, so we're gonna do some mental housekeeping tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely gonna have a good conversation. So like we can just jump right into it. I want to know, what does it mean to have a clean mental house, and why is it significant for overall well-being? I'm gonna go to Henry.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, I pulled the candle. I said the goodness thing. I wasn't expecting that. Well, as the saying goes, you don't shit in your own nest, right? And well, that's because that's your nest. That's where you feel comfortable. You don't want to roll around in that. And I don't know. In reality, it took me years and years to learn what this is about. I never. Holy shit! The compressor just kicked on, and the old me would have went running. I have changed my pants really quick. It's so important to have a clean mental house.
SGF Graham,
All right.
chime in for
Can you repeat the question again, bro?
I got you. What does it mean to have a clean mental house, and why is it significant for overall well-being, in your opinion?
Well, having a clean mental house allow you to make proper decisions without being too emotional. You want to care about what you're talking about. So, you want to have some back end emotions, but with that, when that mental house clear, you can see in front of you, see behind you, and you can actually hear other people what they have to say without being defensive all the time. At least that's my opinion.
I like that. I like that. You good to go, Henry? Do I got to spin the block?
I am. No, don't spin any blocks on me. My air compressor went off. It scared the hell out of me. Got it plugged in. No, it took me years to learn to be happy with yourself, with just yourself. Maybe even wanting it more and more some days, because when you truly have peace within yourself, your house, so to speak, that translates over actually your physical house and your own well-being. And I don't know, it really is important for day-to-day existence and just overall functionality, because it's cathartic to have good conversations with yourself at the end of the night. Maybe you wind down. Important to me anyway. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I like that. Let's go to Kendall.
Oh boy. When it comes to the emotional check, it's always important to be more aware with your own emotions on a daily basis, especially for how you are with what you're doing in life, and just being held accountable for your own self other than others. And the way my week's been, I'm kind of excused.
Okay. Always eventful for Miss Kendall. That's a fact. Miss Kim, how you chime in?
So I believe your mental hold on. I got the dog barking.
You got dog.
Second. Yeah. People are moving in next door.
Come on, Gucci.
All right. So I believe that it's important to keep yourself centered and with control, because if you cannot think rationally for yourself in the thought process, it pours out onto others. So you have to look at yourself as like a cup. And if you allow too much stuff to get into you, it's just going to pour everywhere and it's going to be a hot mess. And so to be able to speak rationally and to be able to get your feelings across and how you feel, it all starts within it. It all starts with your mind. And, you know, living in a dirty home, in a cluttered home is just like the same as your head. You can't think, you can't expect people to receive what you're saying the right way because you can't even speak on it the right way.
I
Definitely
wanted
agree
to,
with that.
I
I'm
wanted
sorry.
to add the way he was saying when he was talking about happiness. To me, having your mental house clean, I wouldn't necessarily say it had to do with happiness, but I had to clean my mental house so I could see all the BS I had going on so I could attain happiness.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, a lot of clutter being stored up. You know, if you're hoarding, ill-advised ideas of yourself, or you know what people think of you, it'll you know, it'll pile up over time if you don't, you know, tend to it in a proper manner. So I definitely agree with that, SGF. Um, excuse me. We got a comment from Dre Kidd. He says, "I wish I could talk to people without making them mad, and I'm trying to find myself." So it's very transparent, very honest, um, very open. Um, and you know, to piggyback off that, we all, you know, have times when you know we may come across certain situations where it frustrates us, or you know, it puts us under duress, and you know we're not operating, you know, at our peak selves, and you know that can always attribute to cluttered headspace and not being able to weed out some of the negative things in your life that are weighing you down that you may or may not know of. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna go with SGF. Tell me, how do cluttered thoughts or negative mental states impact our daily functioning and our relationships?
Boy, that's a good question, man. That's a deep one right there. Um,
Appreciate you.
that clutter and make you shut down. You know, some people get irate and angry because they don't really know how to even get through it. But for me, when it's cluttered, I shut down. I really want to. I be at work like, man, I'm finna just quit this, or whatever, you know, because I just need the silence. I need to be by myself and remove the clutter. It's especially with a person with ADHD, that clutter on top of I'm a I have a servant attitude, so I'm always helping other people. So that clutter jump onto my clutter, and then I can't decipher what's mine or theirs. Like, man, it'd be a dirty mental house. Like, really just gotta isolate and get rid of everything, even some of my stuff, and just start over.
That's definitely a good point, SGF. That also correlates with what Drake Kidd is saying. Um, he typed, "Should I do me and focus on myself so I can figure my life out first?" And I would honestly say, yes, sir. That's exactly what you should do. Like what, you know, Miss Kim was alluding to earlier. Um, Everything is from inner. You know, sometimes you're projecting, sometimes you're in denial, and you're fighting the reality of, you know, what it is that your life is or where you are as a person. When in all actuality, you should be embracing this so you can, you know, understand what you need to do in order to combat it. That's pretty much the only way to get through your obstacle, is to do just that, go through them. And, you know, if you see yourself as an obstacle or something that you want to correct, or if there's something that you're chasing, you definitely have to focus on that before you can put your attention on anything else in life. That's for sure. I'm gonna go to let's go to Kendall. Same question.
Are you able to repeat the question if that's okay?
Oh yeah, Kendall, you know I got you. How do cluttered thoughts or negative mental states impact our daily functioning and our relationships?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I have no words when it comes to that type of cluttered mind because I'm like that on a daily basis, just trying to find out where I'm at, or I'm always trying to keep myself in check. I have a whole collaboration with ADHD, with OCD, with 22Q, and everything else where I'm trying to find my place um, of value of where I'm worth and where I'm not worth. And I know my worth. It's taken me this long just to realize how much I've been through, and I'm still going through it. So it's really hard to properly describe for what is and what isn't for what you're going through in the moment.
I agree. I can definitely understand where you're coming from in that regard as well. Um, sometimes, we may carry these emotions into the workplace. We may carry them, to people who, all in all have been good to you. But, sometimes the battles that we face, they can triculate over into other areas if you aren't careful with managing them. Um, there's always a way out, you know, even if you feel like, you know, what you're going through is just to the point where you won't be able to function or you don't know how to operate under any other circumstance. There's always a way for you to channel these emotions and use them for positive. Um, I think the saying is profit off your pain. Um, you know, in that regard, you should definitely focus on you more so than anything else. I know it may seem selfish, but in times of stress or in times of adversity, you're the only person that's on the front line. You're the person that's defending your peace. You're the person that's defending your happiness. And it's important for you to assume these responsibilities as well as understand that it's imperative that you pay attention to yourself versus worrying about what it is that people see you as or whatever it is that you're comparing yourself with. The comparison is the greatest thief of joy, and it's important for you to remain humble in these times. Um, Even when you question yourself, that's a positive thing because at least you know that you're paying attention to certain things. If something doesn't seem right and you're questioning it, that means you're focused on the right thing. But if you really want to tackle this and if you feel like you can't control yourself or you can't emotionally exude your emotions the right way, it's best that you isolate yourself until you're able to tame that part of you. Um, I actually want to hear what Miss Kim has to say.
So we tend to mirror each other, and sometimes we mirror people within our insecurities and our I don't want to say flaws because they're not, but in our fears, our doubt, and in our the things that are constantly in our subconscious and our conscious mind. You repeat something over and over, it becomes habit forming. So the same thing with the thought process. If you're thinking negative all the time and you're thinking cluttered and you're thinking distracted, that's going to show. And it's not only going to show in you, but it's going to show in the people that we surround ourselves around. So once we start cleaning that out and clearing our thoughts, the people around us will also change. But it all really honestly happens, starts with us because, like I said, we mirror people. When we're in a good mood, everybody around us seems like in a great mood. And those that aren't, we don't put ourselves in that position because we remove ourselves from that. But it all starts with inside of ourselves from our subconscious, and then it'll come back to our conscious. But like it's repetitive. It's habit forming. It's a repeated cycle until we start changing the behavior. And we have to sometimes uncondition ourselves to do that.
Yes, yes. I call that negative programming. Sometimes people aren't aware of this, but you pretty much you are what you think about, you are what you eat, you are how you move, you are what you feel. These are all valid. These are all valid things of who you are. And when you learn how to embrace these things and change them, you'll begin to program yourself in a positive way. I like this question too. I think I wanna go to Kendall with this one. If your mind had a front door, would it be wide open, locked tight, or broken down?
Can I say all of the above? It's depending on what the situations are, because I'm very upfront and very open that way too, especially when it comes to dealing with situations on a daily basis. It's constant for me, so I'm very open and very vulnerable for what I go through, and I try to be more open and healing in all aspects too. And when something negative comes at me, I handle it personally, so I have no choice but to handle it heads up front. So when it comes to that type of aspect, it's like heads on, straight up.
Okay, very bold, very daring. Um, SGF, same question.
I'm hard headed. I got a whole nother scenario. I got a screen door, unlocked screen door. Um, I can still screen everything. It's wide. It's unlocked, so you can't come in, but you also screen before you come in.
All right, screen unlocked. I like. Um, Henry, what's your take?
Yeah, you're gonna have to repeat it so I can get it in its entirety.
I got you. If your mind had a front door, would it be wide open, locked tight, or broken down?
It's wide open with reservation.
Is that like a do
Yeah.
not trespass or else type of thing?
I am so debonair on my podcast. I try to be a very gentlemanly, and in real life, I can be a very intense and kind of vulgar person at times, and I don't like to be reflective of that. But it is part of me, and I don't care if I got a mouth like a longshoreman. That's just part of me, and I enjoy it. It's how I express myself. So a lot of that I hold back from people because it's not about like offending them. I'm really respectable with everyone I try to be. I think that gets you a lot farther than just being mindlessly vulgar. So I believe when you cleverly time some aspects of my life, it's easier for people to digest, such as on podcasts. So yes, I am wide open and I will talk to people, but it's kind of a putting my feelers out to see how cool you are, because I don't really. It's hard for squares to mess with me, man. I don't know. I'm an open book though.
I can dig it.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
I can dig that.
Thank you for asking.
Oh yeah, no question. Miss Kim, let me hear what you got.
So my door is wide open also, and I have a dog for a reason. It's wide open with restrictions. It's not overly welcomed. Yet it is wide open. I'm all about feeling. I trust what the universe says, and I just go off feelings. And I don't have to know you to approach you. If the feeling is there and the universe says speak, I speak. And if the universe says stay away, I stay away. I listen to my inner me. It's never done me wrong. So
When in doubt, trust intuition for sure. Okay, Drake here says
About you? No, tell me you. What about you?
me,
Ooh.
I would say I don't want to be politically correct. I want to have a little edge with it. I'll just say I'm locked tight at this point.
Mm,
Um, there's been so much trust that has been abused that I've given maybe um foolishly. Sometimes these things wasn't earned. I led with these things, and in return, the abuse that I received was warranted because it's my job to discern if these people are worthy of my loyalty, my trust, my devotion, and my dedication. And sometimes, I can be let's just say I can be a creature of habitat. And, I tend to allow these things to infiltrate my happiness and my peace. And, you know, I'm like a I'm like a scholar of my struggles. So I tend to suffer in silence. I don't make a big deal of these things. I tackle it behind the scenes, but all in all, learning what I've learned, I've had to be locked tight with the way I conduct my business, with the way I move, and with the information that I disclose to others, for sure.
So can I ask a question? Was there a lesson learned though? Not the yeah, shut my door and lock it, but was there a repeated cycle lesson learned?
Oh yeah, multiple times. It was to the point where I started. It was to the point where I started to doubt my ability, to operate within the confines of, people that I admired or people that I wanted validation from. And at the time, that was also attributed to the fact that I didn't really know myself.
Mm,
When I spent more time with myself, I realized that the things that I was seeking from these people were merely just me trying to fill a void that, I was able to feel when I started to, let's just say, explore who I was as a person and dabble into different things that I found interesting. Now that I'm able to identify the places that I can mark off as peace or a safe haven, and places that I associate with hell or anything along that realm, there's like an even divide. I don't have to wonder what if or have FOMO about certain things because I've already experienced like every level of that turmoil. So it's a repeated cycle in itself. You're always gonna keep chasing that high. It's no different
mhm.
from a habitual user. Like you're gonna keep chasing that high. You're gonna keep chasing that validation because there's something you're not addressing within yourself.
I like that. Can we read these comments? There's a lot.
Yeah,
All
who's
right.
reading them? You usually reads comments. I'm not used to it. It's kind of nice, but
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot going on.
we do some comment reading. Dre Kid, as much as I want to be there for people, I feel like I can't control what comes out of my mouth, which I knew was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where at times I feel like the things I say need to keep to myself. I'm having health issues and I take it out on everyone. Yeah, and Dre, I'm trying to learn not to.
Yeah, it's just frustration. All in all, it's not. I'm pretty sure, you're not just some uptight person. You're going through a hard time. These things can be difficult when you're used to doing certain things, and you find yourself in a position where you can't do what you once did, and it's not just get up and go anymore. Things start putting themselves in perspective. So, um, that's that's a human nature. But I'm definitely um keeping my prayers up for you, Dre, and hopefully these things don't sit with you long term, and you do find a way around the difficulty that you're facing.
Yeah, we rooting for you, Dre. He's been on
So,
the show quite a bit lately.
yeah, and I'm going to talk to him after the show. I gave him my number. That is a
Good.
referral from my son. He's at the shelter where my son works at, and right now he's in the hospital having health issues. So I told him to get a hold of me after the show.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good.
Next question.
We'd all help
Yes.
anytime.
All right, let's get a little personal, guys. Miss Kim, can you share personal experience where maintaining a clear mental space had positive influence in your life?
Every day. Every day. I have to call Moon Tortoise every now and then to remind myself that I am being bothered, because my biggest thing that I am trying to overcome is the unbothered part of being bothered. I tend to want to be unbothered so much that I get bothered by it. So I'm now becoming more transparent with that and calling it for what it is. I am bothered. And there's nothing wrong with that. So being positive is changing the things about me that I seen as flaws and in embracing them and approaching them in a different manner, saying, yeah, it's okay to be bothered by something. How long do you live in it? How long do you stay within that thought process? And what do you do with it is the outcome that I look at. It's not the fact that I was bothered by it. That don't bother me. So being positive and changing the outlook of what I see it within myself and seeing it for a plus, it helps me, because I realize you can't change your life until you change how you see it. And that all starts with how you think of it. So once you change your life, you change how you see it, then you can watch your life change around you.
Amen to that. Definitely concur. Let's see. Kendall, can you share an experience where maintaining clear mental space had a positive influence?
Well, where to begin? When it comes to positive influences or influences, I don't know how to say that properly anymore. It's been so long. The positive
Take your
things
time.
I try to look into, it's with my artwork, I would say, and talking to the podcast has been very uplifting, especially for the things I'm going through right now has been very challenging on a weekly aspects. It's always something different and unique and very challenging for what I'm going through. So for how I'm able to see the positive things, I'm still able to continue on for what I'm able to do to finish what I'm working with, regardless of my music or my art shows or whatever that may be for teaching. And that's my positive right there.
I have a question for you real quick, Kendall. Today was a real important thing for you and it meant a lot to you and it was really hard for you to do. From the old you to the new you, how'd you handle your situation today that happened today?
Oh, right on the spot. I didn't know how to answer that properly either. It was very, very challenging. The fact I really did wanted to say a lot of crucial things about the why you weren't there type ordeal. And the braver part was I was able to go see my dad in person after 20 years at the hospital. So that being said, says a lot of growth right there for how much I hated him to versus now for how I want to see me as, for how I don't want to be. And that was really hard.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Kendall. Definitely, definitely. SGF, same question, bro.
Can you repeat it for me?
Gotcha. Can you share personal experience where maintaining a clear mental space had positive influence in your life?
Uh, the transition from the last job to this job. I really want to spaz out on everybody and things that were being said and everything, but I chilled and played the positive side of everything, even though I might have been crashing out mentally, in my own space. They didn't know it, and I wound up finding a job, making $5 and some change more, doing the same thing I was doing. That wouldn't have happened if I crashed out.
Yes, sir. I applaud you for taking a high road in that regard. Like you said, it pays off for sure. So congratulations, my dog.
Appreciate you.
You know, uh, Henry, same question. Can you share a personal experience where maintaining a clear mental space had a positive influence in your life?
Um, yeah, my big plateau was 7 years ago when I quit drinking. That um had 100% like turnaround in my life. Like it was, and then I started reaching more plateaus after that. Coming out was a big one. Understanding myself after drinking, and every situation after that 7 years ago, I started really deeply thinking about my actions. And every day I think more and more about what I say and what I do and what I think with a lot more care and concern. I don't have time to keep falling anymore in any aspect, be it physical or metaphorical, emotional. So, yeah, positive thinking and positive mental attitude have completely changed my life and continue to change not only my life, but relationships for the better.
That's definitely a huge milestone. Congratulations on that, Henry. Um, it definitely seems as if, sometimes, oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes we put our trust in these superficial things that we feel bring us comfort, but all in all, it's just suppressing the real issue. And it's important for us to detach, get familiar with that word, get comfortable with using that word, know the meaning of that word, because if you're unable to detach from these things, you'll become reliant on them, and that leads to addiction. That leads to abuse. That leads to self-neglect and self-destruction. So it's important that we really do a lot of soul searching. Um, fight these demons. Don't allow them to invade your space. Don't allow them to condemn you for the mistakes you made, because at the end of the day, we're all human. These are things that were already written. So, you know, in a sense, it's prophetic, and it's important that you get close to a higher you as well as a higher reasoning, because sometimes we walk around this earth mindless, thinking we're progressing, and all in all, we may be dwelling. So you have to get in touch with your inner self. You have to meditate as much as possible, at least 10 to 15 minutes in the morning. Like, you shouldn't, like, there shouldn't be a minute where you can't spare a couple minutes for your peace of mind. Like, you have to stop neglecting that, and we have to make that a priority. Um,
That's important.
Sure. Well, yeah. I don't want you guys to think I'm preaching, man. I'm just saying what I feel right now.
Well,
There's a
no,
reason.
when it comes, oh, so I was gonna say when it comes to the meditation thing, you got a panel. If you're listening, you got a panel full of people here who have ADHD,
Yeah.
and I'm not speaking for everybody, but 100% me, and we'll express ways that you can actually do it. I can't sit there and go, oh, and light candles and shit like that. I mean, I can, but eventually start thinking about insanity and
Right.
crazy things. So my guitar stops that. My guitar is meditation. Remember, there's always something you can do to retract your brain. I love
Yes,
that.
sir.
And I just didn't
Yes,
want to
sir.
say you're preaching and you ride you there. So that's good.
And I was gonna say that there's a reason why that the universe had me approach you to ask you to do this one tonight. Not just because you speak on your mental health or your mental health all the time. You needed it. Not just for I don't know, like clarity within self or whatever, but this is meant to be for you to speak on it. So
Oh yeah, I definitely feel at home. Um, I appreciate you for reaching out. It was very thoughtful gesture, and I really feel like you know it should be mandatory for us to connect. On a human level, at least once a week. I'm like, these devices have us coming and going so much, and devoted to other things that aren't important that we forget how to be human. So, this is very nourishing for the soul. Um, this is, some level of spiritual guidance for someone who may be lost or, who may be in between, um, rocks and hard places. But, for certain, there's always a light. And, as much as you can, keep your head to the sky. Don't let it hang. Don't dwell in where you are temporarily. And always keep in mind that every day you wake up, you got another shot at it. Like, don't give up so easy. Let me see what I got in the chamber. Two. Uh, okay, so Kendall, are there any specific practices or activities that you find particularly effective in refreshing your mental space?
I definitely got a good list. I wasn't planning on getting emotional, but that's just how I am. That's being emotional is also very healing and letting go too. Especially recently, where I'm still learning to let go of these odd emotions I never really had. I've always put them aside or just never really dealt with it properly from my past and the trauma and versus now. And it's always been pushed aside for how I am versus now. So when it comes to activities, I just went for like at least a good 4K swim out of the lake for a good couple hours today after visiting the hospital and all that stuff. I was able to write in my music. I was writing in my journal last night. I was praying, meditation as well, and just trying to find my zen, my inner peace. I go for my walks constantly every day now, and I'm doing much better. My anxiety is still kind of halfway there, but it's set aside. When it comes to just learning different hobbies as well, I'm still wanting. I just want to learn how to. What is it? You know what a handpan is? I always wanted one of those ones just to see what happens. So figuring out new hobbies would be like ideal. So go from there.
Okay,
Good
I
job,
like that.
Kendall.
You're definitely a creative mind, Kendall, and keeping that thing churning is most definitely important. I feel like it's where you can express yourself the most. You've carved a lane out for yourself. Um, Even some of the things that you sent me, very beautiful, very delicately composed, and you definitely seem somewhat at home. Whenever you're dwelling in these things. So just personal advice. Whether You know, whether you feel like you're neglecting, you know, certain areas or things of that nature, never let that go. You know, I feel like it's become a part of you, and you know, it could really, you know, help you through a lot of these things that you face. Um, you know, just continue to embrace it. You know, good things are definitely in the future for you.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Uh, Miss Kim, same question.
So we're gonna slowly wrap this up and do positive things after that, after we answer these questions,
All
because
right.
we're only doing an hour from now on. And I don't remember what the question was. To repeat the question, please.
I,
We do all have ADHD.
I got you. I
I
got you.
swear.
I got you. We locked in for sure. Are there any specific practices or activities that you find particularly effective in refreshing your mental?
Oh yeah, okay. At the beginning, it was starting my journey with my ethers. It saved my life because the hardest part was being inside my head. And then I had to realize you had to get inside your head in order to get out of your head. And then you had to be comfortable with being in both situations. So I do a lot of me time. Once a week, I'll take a day and just feed into me. And I won't allow myself to regret it. And I won't feel like I am bothering anybody by loving me correctly. So I do a lot of me things. And I'm now a hummer. I don't know if Tina Turner hopped in my body or what, but I just hum all the time when I feel myself either being bothered or trying to relax. So I'll just randomly start humming. And it's different frequencies and different vibrations so that I can reset inside myself. So humming helps me.
That's a good one. My grandma used to do that. She would hum all over the place. Like it was, well, at you know, being younger, you know, I just thought that, you know, whatever grandma's making noises, but you know, come to find out that was definitely, you know, something that she used to calm herself down and, you know, to kind of reset and bring everything back to one. Um, SGF, same question.
One of the four things that I would do would either be listen to an instrumental, um, do a theta sleep meditation, turn on some type of knowledge, or just turn on some of my music. Like I don't deal with nothing that's of the world at that time except anything that's dealing with me until I reset.
All right, Henry, you got some?
Oh, you betcha. Thank you for asking. You know what? Sorry, I was chasing off either a raccoon or another cat. Anyway, I love cats. Cats, I'll pet cats like for hours. No, I do though. You know what? It's music. It's anything to do with music is a wonderful reset for me. Once I got, I hate to preach, but once I got sober, I realized that the house you live in, your mind home, you can push that to the limit, doing natural things that your body wasn't intended to. You get really, really high. So music is a good one for me. I like to meditate, absorbing information, like SGF Graham said. I'm learning about medieval castle, how they built them, and how they burned each other up with oil. It's amazing. Um, and what else? I love sex, and I love music, and yoga, and exercise, and nature. Those are the big ones. Those are the big ones. Those are all wonderful mental resets for me, and that's how I keep my home clean.
Beautiful, beautiful. All
I
right, so we
apologize. I
closing in.
find humor.
Kendall.
I find humor in weird things. I apologize.
so we so we closing in on the 9 o'clock hour. So like we do on every show, we're gonna get some positive suggestions from the panel, some information to give to people who may need it, and some people who may value it. Let's start with Kim.
Wait, you're starting with me or Miss Kim?
You.
Oh, me.
Kendall.
Okay, my bad. Okay. Okay. Today's lesson was don't wear sandals with socks. That was a big no-no for me. I did a face plant walking in the trails, so yeah, don't do that.
Oh,
Very important. SGF Grant, say something to the people, brother.
Shoot. Come back to me. Spin back around. Spin back around.
Yes, sir. Miss Kim, talk to your people.
So I got a few things that are positive. One, we are a nominee for an Impact Award because people been nominated for that. We're making a difference. We're making a difference. They've been writing in, and we're recognized and being nominated for an Impact Award on March 28th, I do believe, next year. But nonetheless, that's a big thing. And then also,
Big thing. Beautiful.
also, I just want people to realize that we're here because we asked to be here. And we signed up for this because this is the hardest course and this is the hardest time in life right now, is being here. And the reason why is because we have to free ourselves from ourselves because we are holding ourselves back. So remember, the only one to stand in your way is you. Besides that, everything else is endless. And unlike everybody else, I don't see myself as a human. I'm in an experience, yes, and it's illusion, and I'm in a celestial body for sure. But I will never put myself in something to use it as an excuse to be less than, because we're bigger than this. We're all connected and we mirror each other. And I have a beautiful team and a beautiful family. And I'm so proud of every one of you. So proud of every one of you.
Respect, Moon Tortoise. SGF, you ready?
All right, I'll take it. It's okay to need help and it's okay to ask for help, but it's not okay to be afraid.
I like that.
Yes, sir. Dre says, one thing I've been learning is the word gratitude. Beautiful. That's very important. Got something for the people, Henry?
Always do. So when I was little, I seen this poster with Uncle Sam on it, and how these jets flying and shit in the top, and I'm like, whoa! And it said, "Victory begins at home." And it was like for bonds or something, war bonds or something. I'm like looking at it, and that was probably the first time I actually thought about that for years. I'm like, victory begins at home, and I really did apply that poster to myself. I'm like, maybe that does mean like with me. And as I learned more about mental health, I couldn't stop thinking about that poster. Now I was probably like 5 or something when I saw it, and I'm still talking about it on some podcast all these years later. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the second thing I learned is after all these years and being at home there for a while now, let yourself be the person that you want to be. Quit holding yourself back. It's simple, and everybody else said it here. And it's really simple. You'll be happier. Dre.
Very profound, sir. I definitely agree with those sentiments. As far as I go, first and foremost, keep your mental house clean. That's exactly what this episode was about this evening. Making sure nobody is living there rent free. If they're up there, they better be paying you, and they better keep the noise level down. You hear me?
Period.
A lot of times we let people, take that inch that we give them, and they stretch it for miles at a time, and it's costly. I'm someone I haven't experienced it all, but I've experienced enough to know when, when fed is up. So, you have to know when enough is enough. You have to value you. You have to value your time, your space, your energy. Your presence is important. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be here.
Mm.
There's a lot of times that we discredit ourselves when, we should be giving ourselves more credit. You have to take it easy on yourself because the world won't. The world's gonna whoop you down every time, and if you're not prepared, you're gonna be another casualty. There's not much. There's not much left, to give when you've exalted yourself to the highest extent, and you feel as if you've done everything you can do. You have to develop that other gear. It's very important. Um, you know, every day is a battle. We're all fighting individual battles on a day-to-day basis. So keep your hearts guarded. Keep your stars aligned with the right things, and the universe will always reward you in a proper way. So you shouldn't be looking for acceptance. You should be looking within yourself to be better than you were yesterday, and to continue striving to be better than you are today.
Mm.
Keep that mental house clean all the time.
Thank you for allowing us into your home, your heart, and your ears. And thank you, Jews B, for joining us home. Welcome home for this week.
Yeah, great to see you, bud.
Oh, you know it, man. I've been moving around. My work schedule changed, so I'm not as available as I was. But I'm definitely gonna be chiming in. I'm definitely supporting, and always rooting for the team for sure. Love.
You're taming tigers and jumping out of helicopters. It's okay.
You know it.
That's right.
You know it. 007, 007, Agent House Cleaner.
That's right.
You're always quality when you're on. You're always quality on the show, man. We always love having you on. So a little bit of snake venom. That's all you need.
I try to be, man. I just hope I age well, like a fine wine.
It's everybody's spirit. Yes.
All right, peace and love, everyone. Ashe.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people. Rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you. But with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.